we'll play with the Tweenies.
No shoes!
Tweenie clock, where will it stop?
Time!
Right! It's Wiggly Woo!
You have to wiggle and wiggle and wiggle!
Yeah.
My nose wiggling already!
And me. Oh, look at me wiggle.
There's a worm at the bottom of the garden, and his name is Wiggly Woo. There's a worm at the bottom of the garden, and all that he can do
Watch me wiggle
is
first.
wiggle all night and wiggle all day. Whatever else the people do say, there's a worm at the bottom of the garden, and his name is Wiggly Woo. Right, I'm the Wiggly Worm next, and I'm a girl worm. There's a worm at the bottom of the garden, and her name is Wiggly Woo. Hello, Wiggly. There's a worm at the bottom of the garden, and all that she can do is wiggle all night and wiggle all day. Whatever else the people do say, there's a worm at the bottom of the garden, and her name is Wiggly Woo. It's me next, me next. There's a worm at the bottom of the garden, and her name is Wiggly Woo. There's a worm at the bottom of the garden, and all that she can do, little wiggle, is wiggle all night and wiggle all day. Whatever else the people do say, there's a worm at the bottom of the garden, and her name is Wiggly Woo.
I'm gonna be the greatest wiggle worm in the whole wide world! Wiggle Rooney! One wiggle behind!
There's a worm at the bottom of the garden, and his name is Wiggly Woo. There's a worm at the bottom of the garden, and all that he can do is wiggle all night and wiggle all day. Whatever else the people do say, there's a worm at the bottom of the garden, and his name is Wiggly. Wig, wig, wiggly, wig, wig, wiggly woo.
Everybody wiggle as fast as you can!
Oh, there's a worm at the bottom of the garden, and his name is Wiggly Woo. There's a worm at the bottom of the garden, and all that he can do is wiggle all night and wiggle all day. Whatever else the people do say, there's a worm at the bottom of the garden, and his name is Wiggly. Wig, wig, wiggly, wig, wig, wiggly Woo.
Oh, clean the floor, cleaning ladies.
You've mopped the floor, Max.
Yeah, looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah, very clean.
Yeah, very, very clean.
Can we come in, Max?
Yeah, can we?
Can we?
Oh, yes, why not? Oh, but you better take your shoes off, though. You look a bit muddy to me.
Better not make a mess of your nice clean floor.
Oh, that's right.
I'll tell you what. Shoes off, everybody. Quick, quick, chop, chop. Yeah.
Oh, now, come on now, let's wipe those paws of yours,
okay,
Doodles. Come on. Right. Oh, cleaning Doodles' paws. Does that tickle, does it?
Oh,
good
yes,
boy.
not a bit.
There, nice and clean. There we are.
The problem is, Max, that the floor is still very wet. And if we walk across it, we'll get our socks wet.
Oh, I don't mind.
Well, I don't like having wet socks.
Stay.
But we can't stand here all day, can we? It'd be really boring. Really, really boring.
I'll tell you what, I've just had the best idea ever.
right.
We can play stepping stones.
Steppy stones?
Yes, Jakey, you remember. You have pieces of paper and you pretend they're stepping stones. Yes, and you can only step on the stepping stones, never on the floor.
Oh, yeah.
we have to
We have
play
to play them,
that,
Maxie.
All right, I'll see what I can find.
Oh, thanks, Max.
Oh, Max has still got his shoes on.
That's because he hasn't been outside and got muddy feet.
Oh, now, here we are. I've got something even better than paper.
So, where are we heading for then, Milo?
Right, well, first of all, right now, we have to imagine that this wet floor is a big, enormous river. So go round that mountain, under that bridge, back down the river, and end up in the story corner, just in time for a story. What do you think?
Yeah, it sounds like a really big journey.
Yeah, right now. Is everybody ready?
Yes, Milo. Can we get on with it, please?
Yeah, all right, Bella, yeah. Can I just say, as leader of this expedition, if anyone does fall in the water, do not panic.
Yes.
I will rescue you, because I am Milo the Mighty, superhero!
Just get on!
No, don't get off! No, that's me off. I've only got 1 minute. Water, water, don't fall in the water. Careful, careful, mind, there you go. Water, water, don't fall in the water. Don't fall in the water down below.
Stepping stones, stepping stones. Step 1, step 2, stepping stones. Stepping stones, stepping stones. Step 3, step 4, stepping stones.
Down the river, don't fall in the water. Round the mountain, mind how we go. Under the bridge, don't fall in the water. Don't fall in the water. Down below.
Stepping stones, stepping stones. Step 1, step 2, stepping stones. Stepping stones, stepping stones. Step 3, step 4, stepping stones.
Okay, team, our destination is in sight.
Oh, what's a desty? What's a desolation?
It's where we're going to, Jake. Where we're heading for, Jakey, our destination.
I see. You mean the beanbags, right?
Right, to the beanbags and beyond.
Or not beyond, Milo. Because when I get to the beanbags, actually, I'd like a story. Me too.
Oh, okay then. It's back down the river and onto the beanbags. Everybody, away!
Water, water, don't fall in the water. Careful, careful, mind how you go. Water, water, don't fall in the water. Don't fall in the water down below. Stepping stones, stepping stones. Step 1, step 2, stepping stones. Stepping stones, stepping stones. Step 3, step 4, stepping stones.
Ah, thank you, Milo the Mighty. You got us all back safely.
Yeah, I did, didn't I? That was a very successful expedition.
Is it story time now, Max? Oh, yes, it is. Doodles, can you press the clock, please?
Okay. Right, that's it. Across the stepping stones. Nearly there. That's it. Almost there. Yup. 20 o'clock. Where will it stop?
Story time!
Settle down, settle down. Now, this story is called The Elves and the Shoemaker.
Max, my gran's read me this one. It's really good.
Yes, well, let's have a go. Right. Long ago, a young shoemaker and his wife lived together in a beautiful city.
It is beautiful. Lovely.
The shoemaker worked hard all day, but no matter how many shoes he made, he couldn't earn enough money to live upon. Finally, the day came when all that he had left in his workshop was one small piece of leather. That evening, the shoemaker carefully cut out the piece of leather to make his last pair of shoes. The next morning, the shoemaker and his wife woke up early. Without wasting a moment, the shoemaker went downstairs to do his work. To his astonishment, there, on his work table, stood a fine pair of shoes ready-made.
Oh, and I know how they got there.
The shoemaker called out to his wife, and for a long time, both of them gazed in amazement at the new pair of shoes.
I would.
The shoemaker picked up each one in turn and inspected it carefully. They were the most exquisite pair of shoes he had ever seen.
They're lovely colour.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
That morning, a very rich man was walking through the town with his wife when he noticed the shoes on display in the workshop. The shoes suited him so well that he willingly offered the shoemaker a very high price for them. With the money, the shoemaker's wife brought enough leather for her husband to make 2 more pairs of shoes.
Good.
In the evening, the shoemaker cut out the leather once more, laid out the pieces on his work table, and went to bed early.
I like sleeping.
In the morning, he found both pairs sitting on his work table, with not a stitch out of place. Soon, 2 customers arrived, and they paid him handsomely, for they'd never seen such fine shoes.
Yeah.
Now the shoemaker's wife could buy enough leather for 4 new pairs of shoes. After the couple had eaten, the shoemaker cut out the leather again and left it on his work table. The same thing happened as had happened before. During the night, the leather was made into 4 perfect pairs of shoes.
Oh, it really is like magic.
And so it went on for some time. What was ready in the evening was always made into shoes by daybreak. Before long, the shoemaker and his wife had everything they needed.
Oh, look at all the shoes. Lovely.
The shoemaker said to his wife, "Oh, I'd like to sit up and watch tonight so that we may see who it is that comes and does my work for me." What a good idea, exclaimed his wife.
Oh, that's his best idea ever.
So they left a candle burning, hid themselves behind a curtain in the corner of the room and waited. As soon as the town clock struck midnight, in came 2 little elves, quite naked.
Look at them! They've got no clothes on.
You can see their bottoms.
Now settle down. They took up all the leather that was cut out and set to work. They stitched and wrapped and hammered and tapped faster than anyone that the shoemaker had ever seen. Within a few minutes the job was done, and a neat row of shoes stood ready upon the table. Then the 2 elves scurried away. While the couple were out walking together the next evening, the shoemaker's wife stopped outside a draper's shop and said, "Those little elves have made us rich.
They have.
And we ought to be thankful to them and do them a good turn if we can. I was quite sorry to see them going around with no clothes to keep them warm. I have an idea. I shall buy some scraps of fabric and make each of them a linen shirt, a silk waistcoat, and a velvet coat and a pair of trousers. You can make each of them a little pair of shoes."
Good idea.
Yes.
The idea pleased the shoemaker very much, so he and his wife worked on the elves' new outfits. At last, everything was ready. That evening, the couple laid the clothes out neatly on the table, instead of the usual pieces of leather. Then they lit a small candle and hid themselves once more behind the curtain. As soon as the town clock struck midnight, in danced the 2 elves. When they saw the new clothes laid out for them, they laughed out loud. The shoemaker and his wife smiled at each other. The elves dressed themselves, and then just as suddenly as before, they were gone.
Oh, look at the little elf jumping.
The shoemaker and his wife went happily to bed and slept peacefully. They never saw the 2 elves again, but they always remembered their midnight helpers.
Come on, everyone. Why don't we creep like little elves? You can't hear us, can you, Matt?
Oh, no, I certainly can't.
That's better.
That's because we're on tippy toes. It's the quietest way to walk.
Yeah, we're doing the tippy toe walk. Join in, Milo.
Oh, well,
That's a funny sort of tippy toe walk, Milo.
yeah, mate, yeah, I don't tippy-toe walk. I do thumpity walk.
Wow, yeah, okay. I'll do it with you.
Yeah, come on,
Trust
Milo.
Milo. Yeah.
Tippy toe feet. Tippy toe feet.
Thump, thumpity feet.
Tippy toe feet.
Oh, look at
Tippy
them.
toe feet.
Thumping down the street. Thump.
On a tippy toe day, in a tippy toe way, say hello to the people you meet. Hello.
Thumping down the thumpity street.
Walking down the tippy toe street.
On a thumpity day.
Right, my thumpity feet are going to chase your tippity toe.
Oh,
Hey, no going outside without your shoes on, please.
I've only got one
shoe.
Oh.
Me too.
Oh, me?
Oh, me as well, mate.
That is
weird.
really odd.
Very odd.
I
Very
think I'm going
funny.
to put this shoe on before it disappears. Yeah.
Me too. Me too.
Me too.
Shoe, no shoe. Shoe, no shoe. Shoe, no shoe.
It feels funny, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I feel taller on this leg than I do on this leg.
Oh, yeah. Well,
yes, you
this foot feels colder than this foot. Shoes keep your feet warm, don't they, Matt?
Yes, they do. And I think we better find your other shoes. Now, where did you put them?
Well, we left them right here, Max. I put mine together very neatly.
Yeah, I'm sure you did, but they don't seem to be in the playroom. So, well, maybe you left them outside, eh?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
let's look outside, everybody.
Come on, then.
It's muddy outside. I don't want to get my socks dirty. Well,
You'll have to hop.
Yeah, let's hop.
Okay. Oh, hang on, I can't do it. Oh, yeah. Wait for me.
Wonder who gets to the slide
Well, our shoes aren't under the slide.
Oh, and they're not here either.
And they're not here.
Oh, how about behind the tree?
Yes, come on, hop over there.
Oh, no, they're not here either.
I like hopping. I'm good at it.
And me.
Yeah, I'm good too. Look, I don't wobble.
Let's have a hopping race.
Okay,
First one to the slide.
Right.
Ready,
Yep.
steady,
Yeah.
I think it was me. We both won.
Yeah, good idea.
Doodles, you haven't seen our shoes, have you?
Hey, me? Shoes?
Yes, Doodles. Why are you hiding?
Yes, Doodles. Do you know something?
No.
Do you, Dada?
What's that on your paws, Doodles?
Doodles!
Got our shoes on!
Have I? Well, I never.
Oh, look, you look ever so funny, Dada.
Doodles, dogs don't wear shoes.
It looks like Doodles' dogs do.
Yeah, that's true. Well, that's shoe business.
Oh.